things for MTV and VH1. A lady at Extra called me. Lisa G was her name. She's a legendary figure in the entertainment news business. And she said, come here for a meeting because you ever heard of Harry Fraud?
Yes.
From Musica to Harry Fraud.
Amazing.
Right?
Boys.
His name's Rory Quigley is his real name.
Okay.
His father, Chip Quigley, was my manager for 25 years.
Right.
So I saw Rory being born, I saw the whole thing, and so Chip was my manager, and he goes, listen, dude, since we're going to calm it down a little bit, because some of the guys had young babies and kids, they don't want to make another record and tour again, which I understood.
Right.
And so Chip called me up, my manager, and said, look, there's a lady here at Extra wants you to take a meeting, because I don't do auditions. They knew I wouldn't do an audition. I would never go, because I'm just so stale. Auditions are like doctors' rooms, and they're so stale and weird, and it brings out the worst of my personality.
Right. We actually didn't have to deal with this little bastard for an hour and
No,
20 minutes there.
not at all. He didn't make any noise or anything.
He was out there.
Yeah, what's
Oh, was he
cracking?
just sleeping in here? Oh, he was just laying right there.
But look at the kind. He usually makes a noise or something.
Great guy.
But I know he, I know how it could sound.
So this is his move. He just comes over here and sort of just like puts his head in this place.
I've got dogs. I love dogs. By the way, I can name 100 dogs I like. I don't know if I can name 100 people I like.
Really?
You know what I mean? I can, but I really love dogs.
As I get older, my threshold for appreciating a dog goes up.
Yeah.
When
Do you
I'm
have dogs
younger,
growing up?
No, which I think is the problem.
Yeah, for sure.
And I see how my kid is going to be better adjusted because she's grown up around the dogs. Yeah.
There'll be profound love for something other than family, which is it's just a good teaching moment.
Yeah. And the dog will run into her in the yard and send her flying like 3 feet to her ass. Yeah, which is
They mean it with love,
Toughen her up a little bit, yeah.
That's how they get down.
Yeah.
So I'll try and make a really long story longer. So I reached out to they reached out to me. I went for a meeting, and I met this lady. We were kind of vibing. She goes, "Are you interested in hosting an entertainment news show?" I thought, never thought about it. She goes, "Well, let me bring it down to the stage." And I was so not caring and just thinking it was a meeting that I was so relaxed and didn't give a. They gave me the mic, and I'm like, hey, the stars around Hollywood tonight. Let's take a look. Just doing like my cheesy thing, but having fun, and everything worked. And I'll never forget, Jason Momoa was there as like a stunt guest. He was on a show called like North Shore or something, way before obviously what he became now. He had short hair. It was kind of a Baywatch North Shore thing. And I think they just faked an interview with him to make him happy. And so I sat down and interviewed him, and he's the sweetest guy in the world. We got along so well. I couldn't have picked a better partner. And well, great, thanks. And I gave him the mic back, and I go, thanks, that was fun. I'll call you if I'm ever interested in maybe doing a segment or something. 2 weeks later, they call me and go, Mark, do you want to host the show? And I go, what does that mean? Are they going to show up every day, Monday through Friday? Every day? Now I'm in a band. I wasn't used to that, And I ended up hosting Extra for 4 years, and it was the most terrifying thing I've ever done in my life. Because I come from the stages, Adam, where you do big moves.
Right.
You're trying to hit the back row, and TV is like very subtle. I mean, Clint Eastwood made a career out of raising his eyebrow, and I'm a bit of a spaz, as you can tell by this interview, so I had to learn to sort of really tone it down and be like, hey, guy, and so I had to learn a lot, and I really was terrible the first couple months. I mean, awful. I remember walking into a 7-Eleven on Holloway and La Cienega, got 7-Eleven there, I don't know if it's still there, getting a coffee at 6 in the morning, and the characters that are there that early sometimes, and there was a guy walking in there with like neck tats and face tats. This is 2004, and that wasn't as prevalent back then. And he's getting a coffee, he's staring at me. I'm like, oh great, I'm gonna die right now. He comes over and he goes, Mark, you sucked when you started at Extra, but you're getting better, bro. Keep it up. And I'm like, oh my God, this is happening. This is happening. And so I had to learn in front of people on TV how to work at Extra. I did that from 2004 to 2008, and it was some of the most hardworking, smartest people I've ever worked with. You start that day at it with no show. Now 4 hours later, you've got a show. You send it to satellite, and you go home. And you hope something doesn't break in between that.
Damn. So how much enjoyment do you get out of doing the TV stuff versus being a band?
The band was still active. That was one thing that people don't understand. We put out the greatest hits. We added a couple of songs to it, but we all wanted to take a break.
Right.
I just didn't want to stop working, But we still played about 40, 50 shows a year. We do a lot of casinos and private shows and things we do now, basically. And so we did that for about 4 years, and then I just didn't love it. I remember I did this interview once with Al Pacino.
It's got to be weird doing the nostalgia circuit, right?
But it's just weird when you've got people come up to you and go, dude, what are you doing here? Like I remember Jon Stewart just goes, dude, I thought you were a rock star. What are you doing here? And I kind of went, a little of my soul just went, oh yeah, but it's over, and I'm trying to find something. And it's just, but the craziest thing, Adam, was love Al Pacino, right? How can you not? Iconic American actor. He's doing a Shakespearean play at the Pasadena Playhouse. Now we're extra. We're Paris Hilton. We're Lindsay Lohan. We're Britney Spears, flying off the rails. That's what we're showing. We're never going to show Al Pacino's new theater, Hamlet, at Pasadena. But they finesse him into getting me to go out there to do a line of questioning for him to get him to ask him a question. So I go out there like a moron. I ask him about 12 things about the play. Hey, when you're doing Hamlet, he's wow, and he's really into it, And I know I've got this question I got to ask him, and it's like my insides are dying. And I go, hey Al, we're extra, and our fans want to know this. What do you think about Britney Spears and Kevin Federline breaking up? And I hand him the mic and he goes, you're better than that. And walked away. And I just, like the Wicked Witch and Wizard of Oz, it is kind of mounted on the carpet. And I went, I'm just not, this is too much talent for me. I'm not built for this.
But that's kind of like a great technique if you want to get something viral, is ask like the best question of the moment to the worst person who's going to have like a totally irrelevant perspective on it, and that is kind of inherently viral.
It's the OG viral way. So I'll tell you what, what Extra did?
What?
Tonight we got Al Pacino, we got his thoughts on Britney and Kevin breaking up, and you never think that. And they go, well, Al was a little shy to tell his real thoughts, so make sure you see, you know what I mean? So it's the early days of viral hits like that. It's funny you say that, and very intuitive.
Wow, that's hilarious.
Yeah, I did that for a while, and then went back to the band kind of full time. Extra gave me this set of tools in my back pocket called hosting, which I can bring out when CNN's doing a thing of the '90s, or I hosted Don't Forget the Lyrics a little while, and Killer Karaoke. That was Steve-O's gig. He was too crazy for Killer Karaoke, so they got me in there. And I hosted a radio show on Sirius XM.
You ever used to do Whippets?
I never did
With
Whippets. No, I've never partied with Steve-O.
Really?
And we kind of were like in just opposite universes.
No, I kind of wish that I partied with Steve-O. Like, if I had seen him in his full glory at that part of his life, it would make where he's at now even more impressive.
Oh, I would have chased him down. Because like he told me a story. I heard a story. I think it was on your podcast maybe. But he was at a party with Mike Tyson, and they were in a bathroom for 9 hours. Him and Mike Tyson for 9 hours in a bathroom. So yeah, I would have chased down Steve-O back in the day. But you see what he's done now and become this like monster, like stand-up and podcast. It's just been great, man. Good for him. Kudos.
For sure. Okay, so I'll put a narrative out there that I heard about, and you tell me what the real version of it is.
Please do.
The narrative was you got sued by the other members of Sugar Ray because you were demanding $10,000 an appearance per performance, as well as you wanted to fly first class and you wanted them to fly coach or economy or whatever. I'm guessing that this is not 100% how you see it, or how did this actually play out? And how far did this lawsuit actually go?
Well, I wanted $20,000 show. And
I thought you were going to try to play the humble card.
And I wanted a private jet. Look at this. This was someone doing a scorched earth lawsuit on us after 23 years of being originally together.
Oh, wow. So he's an original guy.
They were original members. They both left at different times.
Burned the house down on the way out.
Basically. Yeah. Which is the reason why you'll never see the original Sugar Ray get back together, but the good news is no one cares. Hey guys, the original guys are getting back together. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's not like the Eagles are getting back together. I value what they did, their history. I'm grateful for it. Is there resentment there? Absolutely. I hate what they did to us. I've been sued once in my life by my former best friends. And also they took a whole sports dirt. Like my guitar player is still with me today. And our ex-manager and our business manager is still with me today. So it was they were pushing a button because they knew what that meant to me. And they were kind of saying, we never want to do this again. And I go, all right, I'm a lifer in the music business. I love performing, and I'm so grateful. I'm never going to stop, and neither is my guitar player. And so by doing this, they kind of sealed it on the face. I'll never, call me crazy, but we're not going to be friends again after you sue me, and we're probably never going to do business again. Right. Call me insane. That's never been done before, right? There's nothing there. You know what I mean? That was kind of going out. You throw everything against the wall. And we settled it, and I'm glad to say we're carrying on. But it was a trademark thing, and how you can carry on, because they both simply left the band. We didn't want to stop. It was Ralph. Ralph's like, the story's boring. They did move it on.
Down.
Ralph Crate Trade?
He used to be in a crate back in the early days. Now he's way too big.
Crates are hardcore, man.
Yeah, no, he's super well behaved now.
He's a great dog.
We have another dog that pees everywhere and shit. So
Is
in
it
comparison, he's amazing.
puppy?
Well,
I think it's like 6 months old or something.
Now, isn't that a bum? Do you have Oriental rugs, like nice rugs in your spot?
No. We got some, they seem okay.
They piss on them, and then like it's hard to get that smell up. It's so nice another segue back.
Look,
there.
your
So
phone
the
keeps
December
ringing.
Thing, man, it was a bummer, but the biggest takeaway is that I lost 2 friends and 2 band members. And, you know, like people say, get over it, Mark, and like that caused me so much stress. Went on for a long time, and plus you've been involved in a lawsuit before. It deranged your bank account, you know, especially if you got some of those Marty Singer big time lawyers, man. It's like it was such a waste, and we kind of came up to the same agreement we would have made anyway.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's what all, but it was so much weird egos involved. And you know, like I didn't act perfectly either. You know, I was hurt. You know, I was hurt. And they left the band. No one was ever fired. There's some weird narrative there that I fired me later.
Right. Everybody always wants to play the victim all the way out.
Well, that's how you get the most value emotionally and all that. You know, you just throw it all in there. So, you know, I don't have a lot of hate in my heart, and I don't for them because I'm grateful for what we've done, accomplished together. I'll never devalue. Especially one of the guys, like the drummer of the band, was. You know, there's 3 of us that wrote the songs, and he was a huge part of the song, a contribution, and always be grateful for that. You know?
100%. So I want to ask this just because you having such an extreme knowledge of No Jumper is kind of shocking to me. What is your overall media diet? You know, the average person in their mid-50s isn't really like paying attention to niche underground hip hop platforms and shit. Like, what do you spend your time looking at on YouTube or whatever?
Well, it's funny, you know, No Jumper is it for me. I wait for the drops. It's like sometimes I tease myself and go to YouTube first, but I'd rather listen than watch. Do you have people that find that?
I don't hear that a lot, but then when I see the numbers, I'm like, oh, there are a shitload of people listening to this on Apple or whatever.
Maybe it's an old person thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because the visual component sounds important because I can really focus when I'm not watching. Because
Interesting.
when you got guys in here, they're rolling blunts and some guys tapping bottles and guys, you know what I mean? It's
I feel like that's part of the content is just seeing all these little ambient motions
That's
going
great.
on.
I think it's great. Yeah, and actually, I'm watching it more now because my kids discovered and showed me you could put YouTube in the bath. That I love taking baths and all that. So wow, YouTube. So I was watching the George Santos thing in my bubble bath, watching YouTube, like insert our own joke there, right? But you're the content that I lean on the most, dude. But you know, I'll do Joe Rogan stuff because I find him fascinating because you can make anybody sound interesting. But yeah, but No Jumper's my go-to, dude. Like I gotta say, it truly is. You're my entertainment, and I go, why do I like this so much? And it goes back to you. It goes back. You are an extremely fascinating, interesting character who knows how to surround. You're like Howard Stern. You know how to surround your people and get the best out of them. You're the Magic Johnson. You're Michael Jordan. You get the best out of the people around you. You know how to find someone who's interesting in the weeds. You know what I'm saying? It's an incredible talent. So,
I appreciate that
yeah.
so much. Yeah, I feel like that has kind of come as a result of the fact that we are not this mainstream platform. It'd be hard for us to get guests. This is something I always learned from Vlad, is that you might not be able to get the superstar in the equation, but you might be able to get their friend, or you're seeing this with Diddy right now, where you might get the bodyguard or the ex-girlfriend, and they have way more of an interesting perspective than you would ever get from the person who's the star of the show. So I've always kind of had to take that mentality and apply that to everything in general. Like my ultimate dream or my goal is to find some random kid that might not even have musical talent, but is so interesting that he becomes a real asset to the brand. You know, that's like the best feeling.
You kind of did that, right? With Triple X, right? Like you find people on the way up, which is even more like impressive. To tell you the truth,
I'm always trying.
the label thing, it just wasn't you. Did it just peter out? Was it pandemic? Was it?
Yeah, it was like controversy stuff. It was just it was a bad fit.
Where'd you and Lena meet?
She DM'd me because she was working for a social media agency, basically, that part of what they had tasked her with was like, oh, we have all these girls that are doing content for us, get them on podcasts. So she thinks in her head, what's a good podcast? She had just watched me interview the EDM DJ Dylan Francis.
Yeah.
She hits me up in the DMs. Within 2 messages, I was basically saying like, yeah, maybe I'll interview those girls, but you should let me take you out for a drink. Boom.
Yeah.
That was it. Yeah.
Just love at first sight out of here.
I wouldn't say love at first sight, but for sure the first night, and it's kind of slowly evolved from there. Yeah.
I did that same thing.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to do that.
Really?
I met my now girl at the Viper Room.
Right.
In
Wow.
1994.
That's insane.
2 hours later.
Yeah. Wow.
2 hours later. And I go, I woke up the next day. Did you wake up the next day and go, oh, wait, I don't want to get out of here. Like, I don't want to run out of here. I want to talk more. I want to, like, you know what I mean? Like, we almost got out the sex thing. And
Right.
then, like, I really really like you. I felt like Eddie Murphy and Boomerang, you know, he's holding up the sheets going, are you coming back? You're coming back? So, like, you know, she dropped me off, which is so gangster. I'm like, I can hang. She, no, you gotta get out of here.
You're reminding me of how this actually went down, which is I remember being very appreciative of the fact that around midnight she was like, I'm gonna show myself out. You know, I was like,
No!
she didn't try to overplay her card and like, because she could probably tell at that time that I had
Smart.
way too much going on in the girl department, so she wasn't trying to like
Gonna be
overplay
there.
her hand like that, which probably ultimately kind of endeared me to
Well, of
her.
course it did, because she didn't need you, bro.
Yeah.
You know, and she's like, I
She
got this.
did, but she wasn't trying to
Well,
let
of
me
course
know.
not. But you want to get me? Act like you don't need me, especially back then, you know?
Definitely. Okay, just I have to ask this because I'm just kind of like fascinated by all these bands from this era,
Yeah,
like how they
please.
sort of interact and stuff. But at one point, you started a festival with art from Everclear.
I did. Yeah.
And then this didn't really work out, or what was the original idea and why didn't it work out?
I love Art. He's a great guy. He's got his ideas of how things should be, and that's it.
Okay.
You know, I think we started too early. We started this tour in 2011. It's called the Summerland Tour, and the idea was take a bunch of '90s rock bands and put it together in a tour, and have them play venues they have no business buying a ticket to. Never mind playing in this day and age. So we're playing the Greek Theater, places like that, and it was great. The first one went around, it was great, and Art and I had no problem. We were talking about the second one, and I go, dude, I think we should have like Tone Loc. We should have like En Vogue, and I wanted to make it more of like what we're talking about, like No Barriers tour. He goes, oh, I was gonna want to go more hard punk and bring out like H2O and like, and I go, yeah, I don't really see where that's gonna go. I mean, that's not the vision I have for this. I want it to be as big as it can be, and he was still trying to like, he's really into his punk ethos, you know, and wants to maintain his credibility like that. And so we had a different vision. There was no weirdness, there was no falling out. I still see him all the time. We go out to lunch every now and then. So that was that. I mean, the story, how we kind of ended is not very interesting.
Right.
Because there's no big, like, lawsuit, you know, a fight or anything. It just, we had different visions of what it could be. But we were just too early at him.
Right.
That tour now would do great business.
Because are there a lot of like tours like that that are kind of trying to traffic in the nostalgia thing?
Absolutely.
They're doing that a lot now.
Well, the craziest thing, there's a tour called the I Love the 90s tour.
Right.
And Vanilla Ice will headline. You ever had Vanilla Ice in here?
No, I haven't, but I watched Vlad's interview with him and he's been sick.
I think you'd be great.
Even Vlad had to go to Florida and do it in his house.
That was the
rather
car
than
one,
getting
right?
everything
With all the
out.
cars? Remember his
Yeah,
car
'cause he
collection?
did the house tour as well. Yeah.
That guy's cars, I mean, is he capital? Like, every car's like, this is $7 million car right here.
I mean,
It's like a VW Bug. I'm like, where's $7 million?
it would appear that
That
Vanilla
Ted
Ice
Bundy
is
one?
making an absurd amount of money based on everything I've seen.
Well, I know he does okay.
Yeah.
From the shows I know, and I know enough about business, and he's doing fine.
There's nothing in me
Lovely guy.
that makes me want to have a $7 million car in my garage.
No,
or
me
even
either.
$1 million or even a couple $100,000. It seems kind of overwhelming.
You see him you kind of underplay the whole thing, which is a smart play to play, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But he's the rolling the 5.0 guy, so he's got to have cars.
Right.
Well, lovely dude. You guys are getting along famously. It's a very compelling interview. But so it was these track tours, these I Love the 90s track tours. It'd be like Vanilla Ice, Naughty by Nature, Sugar Trash, greatest guy in the world. Coolio, rest in peace. Tone Loc, Young MC, En Vogue, TLC. And so they called me and said, Mark, would you bring Sugar Ray out? And I go, we're kind of a band, you know, bro, I don't really do that. And he goes, well, would you do it to a track and a drummer? And I'd never done songs to track before. I don't know, I don't feel good about that, especially calling it Sugar Ray.
Right.
Because I don't want to mix up the, you know, they don't want to give anybody a confusion of what they're getting if you see Sugar Ray.
Legally, are you allowed to perform as Sugar Ray and it's just you and a backing track or whatever?
I can do whatever I want as long as I satisfy the terms of our deal.
Okay.
You know, we all own the trademark, if that makes sense.
Okay.
You know, as being as opaque as I can.
Yeah.
But I can be Mark McGuff for Sugar Ray and do anything.
Right,
and do
right.
nothing. So what I did is I took that and a drummer along and it became a whole new side hustle for me. And now I'm playing the Kia Center again with, you know, with TLC and Naughty by Nature, and so much fun doing 4 songs. It's all hits, and it was just crazy. The tour went crazy. But for some reason, they can't figure out that 90s tour, that kind of mid-90s, like the Gin Blossom, Sugar Ray, you know, not the star bands, but like that little thing. You put 4 of us together, we just can't do it for some reason.
Really? What?
And I don't know
The
why.
audience is just not fully locked in, or what?
I think that might be now. It hasn't been done in a while. I think the timing was just a little bit off. I think that it would be now. But you think if you had Smash Mouth, Sugar Ray, rest in peace to Steve.
Yeah.
You know, Tonic, and Better Than Ezra. You could put 4,000 or 5,000 people. You probably could in the Greek, but you lose the momentum in between the flyover states. You know, for some reason. And a lot of us the Pierogi Fest and the Zucchini Fest of the world. So we're all doing some good business. Look at that fair money, man. The casino money is good stuff. So,
Good.
so I guess what I'm trying to tell you, Adam, no one's cracked the code how to make that 90s tour because every other decade's figured it out. 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. No one's done it. Besides, I love the 90s, but that's only track artists. So I'm going to work on it until the day I die.
So, do you wonder about or worry about the overall health of rock music in general? Because there's been quite a few people who've said that rock music is dead. Sometimes you see things popping up that makes you feel like, oh, okay, there's still interesting stuff happening, but there's definitely reasons to fear that maybe rock music's never going to really reach the level that it once was at.
I think you're entirely right. It'll never be Led Zeppelin and Boston and Aerosmith anymore because you don't have a machine behind it to put it out there anymore. That machine being a record label. That's the good news and the bad news. Because anybody can do it now. And you got to go find it. And there are bands that kind of peek through, like, Greta Van Fleet, sneak through. There's the Struts that are doing a thing, but they're all backed by a machine. I've yet to see a band really take off and sustain a career. That's the caveat there on the internet. Have you?
It's limited, for sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
name one.
I don't know.
Yeah, so I just haven't seen that yet. Now, rock and roll is becoming like jazz. It's a niche thing. Remember, jazz was the biggest thing in the world in the 40s, 50s. It was the top seller.
Sometimes I want to communicate to some of my hip hop friends, but I don't even really want to go down this wormhole of like bands live are so much better on average than rappers. Like hip hop has a culture, for better or for worse, of doing very little when you go on stage, and that is not an option when you're a band. Like it has to be everybody just going crazy together in unison. When I think of all the hardcore and punk shows I went to growing up, it's like some of the greatest moments of my life. Very, very few hip hop shows in my life that have come close to matching that.
Astute observation once again from the 22, sir. Because you're right. And you want to know why? Malcolm Gladwell again. Where are the hours of playing live? Especially during the SoundCloud era and the drill stuff, a song comes out. I just made the song yesterday. It's 10 million copies, and now you want to go in clubs. They don't know how to perform. In a band, you're performing in a garage. You're playing. You have not lived until you played in front of nobody. You got to eat the hours. That's how you learn to perform. That's how you learn to deal with obstacles. Nobody being there. Hecklers. That didn't work. Moving on. Not giving a fuck. And there aren't a lot of like local hip hop shows. There's some. I see it out there. I get it, but not like the hardcore scene is, man.
I just saw a Nardwuar interview with Jack Antonoff, who was saying that part of his armor as a person and as a performer is the fact that he toured in his band as the headliner and had to be completely in debt.
Right.
Like the situation where all the other bands leading up to you are better than you performing.
Yeah.
And I was like, that is something that will toughen you up beyond repair, even though I'm sure he's probably never gonna have to worry about that again.
And he had a lot of money in his pocket. He was bummed out. He's okay. But that Bleachers thing, I saw them early. He was okay. Look, one of the biggest rock stars in the world, Chris Martin. It took a while for him to find his Bono. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He used to get out there and Coldplay behind a piano. You want to go to stadiums, you got to be a rock star. You got to touch the back. You got to really perform. Alicia Keys style, the rock star. They put in the work. They put in the hours. And a lot of these kids say, careful what you ask for. And again, getting back to sustaining it. If you can't bring it live, you might not have a career forever.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? This put your hands up thing. We're done. There's got to be something new.
Right.
That's just a real fail-safe, go-to. I do that shit live all day.
Right.
But you got to figure out something new. You got to figure out what works for you. And just go and act there and act like you don't give up. It's not going to work for everybody.
No.
It's not. Can't all be Liam Gallagher.
Right. So, okay, what is the good life to you at this point? You mentioned, doing these sort of throwback tours as well as doing, the different sort of casino appearances and all this type of stuff. Like, there's that, there's TV. Like, what way of life do you enjoy the most? In particular, like having to balance that with spending time with your family and enjoying all the spoils of your efforts over the years. Like, as you get older, what's the ratio that you want in your life, and what gives you most fulfillment?
I think once you become a dad, for me personally, that's what I lead with now. I'm a dad first.
Right.
That's me.
And your kids are what age?
They're 14. I have 4 little twins growing up in the valley.
Right.
Ever seen Euphoria on HBO?
Oh, I hope it's not like that.
Oh, I'm battling. I am battling.
Oh, no.
Oh, my God. A shout out to Ryan Harley. I love my kids. They're the greatest. But, man, they're about to go to high school. And you just I try to instill them all these like I hope their moral compass is up and try to tell them to be good people, but it is rough out there, man.
But even with a good foundation
I'm
and
trying
good
my best,
upbringing,
Adam. I'm
the
trying, dude.
temptation is hardcore.
And I just see them being influenced by some of their friends, and and it's like, you put them here, and then they're gonna go right or left. It doesn't matter what you did as a parent.
Holy shit.
We all love our kids. We love our kids, and it's all different ways to parent. I'd never judge anybody's way of parenting.
But that's why it's so fucking heart-wrenching.
Yeah.
Knowing that right now my kid is 3.5. I get to control nearly everything in her life. And as a result, it's been amazing to see what an incredible spirit she can become because of the fact
So beautiful.
she hasn't had to deal with anyone bullying her or being mean to her or anything like that. Like, that's completely foreign to her. But then you're, meanwhile, at the part where you're giving up control and you're realizing I'm not going to be able to micromanage every detail of their life going forward.
Adam, it's going to break your heart when and by the way, you're close. Your kindergarten, preschool, maybe someone's going to say, I don't want you to play checkers with them, what the hell they do.
Right.
Checkers, got 56 checkers. And then they come home and then, Daddy, someone broke my heart. And like, be prepared for that. And I'm going into like boyfriend and girlfriend territory too. Wait till that. But we're also the first generation of parents raising kids entirely on social media. So the bullying follows you home. You can't get away from it. I mean, the amount of kids that are so depressed and that are cutting themselves, it's terrifying.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable what's happening out here. I believe it's probably manifested more out here in Los Angeles, I'm guessing, but from what I'm hearing, it's just a nationwide fight. We're Lewis and Clarking this parenting shit in social media, and especially coming out of the pandemic. Now, your daughter's young enough, so she's probably not going to remember, or she won't remember.
But do you closely monitor their social media use? Do you try to get involved with that, or is that at a certain point you just got to give up?
The best I can. And like, when do you give it to them? When do you give them a phone? Like, we were the worst parents ever because we gave them the iPad, see if we could get another 20 minutes at a restaurant.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like anybody judging us. It was our thing, and I was grateful to have that 20 minutes with my wife and whatever.
Right.
But I probably did everything wrong. By the way, I'm not a perfect parent. Shout out to everybody. I mean, what are you talking about?
Well, there's
Show me a perfect parent, I'll show you a weirdo.
There's always going to be that balance between actually like spending every moment being like intently, in focus with your kid versus needing to get some sleep. So you put on Disney Plus for an hour.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. And God, but I remember the first time I was hungover and my kid looks like, Dad, get up. I'm like, oh, shoot him away. You want to feel like the devil?
Yeah.
That was wrong. Anyways, but yeah, I mean, what was saying? I thought there was something I was really on this one.
Oh, we're just talking about what you're focused on in your life as a whole.
Yeah. So Dad first and foremost. It is. It's what it happened to me a little later in life. I was 42 when I had my kids. But yeah, no. So social media, like we monitor as much as we can, but they have to have Snapchat. You can't be social. You don't want to make them an outcast and all. You know what I mean? It's like I remember I didn't have the cool clothes in school because my mom shopped at Marshalls exclusively, and like I had the Adidas with 4 stripes on them. They were called like Adidas Sun or something, And so like I remember going, I'm not gonna like not give my kids all the tools, just at least get in the game because it's tough enough. So yeah, we're probably doing a lot of things wrong, but we love our kids, and I know we're doing that right. And I'm gone a lot, Adam. I'm gone a lot. I miss a lot of things. I miss my daughter's play this weekend. And it's the little things to people outside of this universe, but my universe is gigantic. So I've made a lot of sacrifices, and so have they. That's something I'm really grateful for that they realize. So being part of a touring band is how I make my living, first of all, and something I enjoy doing. So that's also something that I leave with this all. And my husband too. I love my wife. We've been together forever. We put up a lot of bullshit. We got it all the way early. She still says today, like, there's a certain time after like 50, like the sex game,
Right.
it just kind of goes away. You know what I'm saying? I mean, she'll be reaching for something, the kiss, I'll see like the ass pile, go, hey, you know what I mean? But like, you really got to set up, it's almost like a date now. You set it up, like, and make it work, and everything's a little buzz and all that. It's just the spontaneity kind of goes out a little bit, at least from what I found.
Well, there's some dick chocolates that this midget gave me. I tried them, but it seemed like it was fucking him up.
Was that Little D?
Yeah, D-Lo.
D-Lo, oh my God, dude, that was the funniest, and that made me love Copper Raider.
Yeah. Great man.
But the dude was falling on, Raider was saving him, man. That made me go, man, this no jumper family. You're so lucky. It was so great.
Yeah.
Oh, then Sydney Starr.
Yep. Beautiful woman.
Are you ever gonna go down?
Nah. I don't want to offend Eddie Winslow.
shout out to Daddy Winslow.
He's doing his damn thing. Another
Is that
90s
real?
icon.
Well, according to Whack, who knows the family.
Yeah.
Do you know that picture of Whack that he's like nude in a
I do, yeah.
Is that real?
That is real.
I am so happy that's real. I am so pause.
And if you mention that photo around him, he will go on a 10-minute monologue explaining why it's not gay and how he was just looking at his phone, and when he gets out of the shower, he likes to lotion up and lay on the bed. And I never even considered that it was gay. I just thought it was a funny photo, but he will make sure you know that was not gay.
In a million years, I never thought that was gay.
Right.
Guy totally coconut oiled up already, like on like a brown shag rug, like his bedroom's all brown and really like this, like. But it was, I'm so glad that's real. I wish out to Rock on Her. I'm a huge fan, and I love your Odd Couple from you guys.
Yeah.
I love it. It works so perfectly. It's a tried and true thing, and I can't get enough. So like, yeah, when you guys drop, that is what I'm focused on. But
Yeah.
Dad first. Husband second, you have to be about that, and a performer, and I'm up for anything, and I love my friends, man. I've been riding with my friends a long time. I mentioned my friend McGee. We've been best friends for 45 years, and I wish this upon everybody, especially my kids. If you can have a best friend, someone you can share your whole life with, man, there is such a joy to getting older with that. And I've been with my wife for 30 years, so we've been stacking years, and when you stack years, there's a gangster quality to that. And I mean this meaning like, you show me like tough guys in prison and all, I get it, I love the Wes Watson, fuck you, and look at those titties, right? I get it.
Right.
I get it. I mean, there's that lane. But when you stack years with people, man, that to me, showing up every day, doing the boring shit that's not applauded, doing the boring shit that's not getting on No Jumper, that to me, there's a lot of gangster dads in the valley showing up every day, doing everything right. That to me is a salute.
Yeah, wow, I love hearing you say that, because like yesterday I felt a little bit of that feeling. I get into the house, I can tell my wife is a little bit annoyed by the fact that the cleaning lady called out. She's over here doing the dishes, she's dealing with all this bullshit. And I get home and I got all my own shit going on. I got a million fucking things that I could be just like talking about myself, and instead I just snap into like dad mode, and I'm like feeding the dogs and taking some shit, taking the trash out, doing all this shit. And it's like, I do take like a serious amount of pride in just being a good, solid partner and dad at a certain point. And I feel you on that, because it's like you are operating this little business that's going to go, that is way more delicate than an actual business.
Without a doubt.
Because this employee could get up and leave at any given moment if she ain't feeling your energy.
Without a doubt. And you also live with that energy as well. You go home and just don't even tap in. You don't even ask.
Right.
I mean, that's that stuff I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Doing tasks that aren't being celebrated. Doing the mundane, showing up to work every day. The job I love my job. I'm assuming you love your job. You're the best actor in the world. You know what I'm saying? And I love my job, but there's drawbacks. I'm fucking tired. It's just nothing more exhausting than talking to someone for 90 minutes, getting the energy up, getting your brain working. You do 3 or 4 days. I hear you say like, dude, I'm tapped, whack. I did 4 interviews today, dude. This one only needs to be 3 hours, okay? Well, you know what I'm saying? So it's amazing what you do, and then go home and then also service your wife and your kids too. They're getting to be they're the energy suckers in the best way. And you're going to be so happy with yourself when you stack a couple years with your daughter that you put in the work. But I'll never regret it.
What do you think of as keeping you together for 30 years? Like that's incredible, and especially the fact that you guys waited so long to have kids. Like what has kept you guys together?
A massive understanding of each other's imperfections. I'm not perfect. She's not perfect. I've been looking for someone to be perfect. We cheated on each other. We've been shitty to each other. At the end of the day, she's my best friend. Like, nothing she does bothers me. That's what I knew. Feet game, perfect. She has this kind of, but you know what I mean? The boomerang thing, that's the perfect analogy. Something bothering me that's such a small thing. Like, she's got a laugh that always charms me. And we put up with bullshit with each other that nobody probably ever would. Because we saw the long play. And I signed a record deal in 1994. I came up here for my noble rights, my king riches. I am a rock star. I want I want it all. I met her 2 months after we signed a record. Wow. So I did everything I could to fuck it up, and so did she. This is before we had a hit record.
That's how I feel about London too, though, is that I got with her like 2 months after I signed my record deal. Like right as No Jumper was starting to get a tiny bit of momentum, boom.
But you think you got a good